To begin, you should have received an email welcoming you to your online campaign. Within this email, you'll have three options. You can view your campaign site, set the password for your admin group portal, and then you also have a login button for future access after you've set your password. We're going to start by taking a dive into your fundraising campaign site. Now, this is the customer or supporter facing side of the fundraiser. So this is the link that you'll be sharing to friends, family, neighbors, colleagues. This is where people can make purchases and make donations. You can see here you've got a progress bar denoting how much money you've raised so far. Then there's also a little countdown to show how much time is left in the fundraiser. There is a customizable little message right here where you can describe your group, what you're fundraising for, and how much money you need. Below that, you'll find the names of all of the students, athletes, or volunteers participating in the fundraiser. So in case a supporter wants to support a specific individual, then they'll simply click on their name and purchase products directly through them. Going back to the homepage and scrolling down a bit, we see that we have two purchasing options. You can have products shipped to your house or shipped to the school, group, or team and distributed by the seller. We'll get into that a little bit more whenever we get to the actual checkout process. This is very much your normal online shopping experience. You have a list of products. You can add them individually to your shopping cart. You can click on a product and get more details, add it to your cart. Pretty simple, very self-explanatory. And we scroll down a little bit more, we'll see our donation options. Now these can be preset, or they can also type in a custom donation, but whenever they click add, it will just add it to the total of their purchase whenever they're at the checkout. The checkout is, again, pretty simple. They'll enter first, last name, contact information, their billing address, shipping address if that's different from the billing address. And then finally, they've got the option to type in a specific student, seller, athlete that they would like to support by manually typing in their name. If they didn't already, select that seller in the beginning and purchase the products directly from their page. Once all of that information has been entered, it's time to calculate their shipping and fees. Now this person has selected to have their product shipped to their house, so they will use 3 trash bags would be shipped to the address that they entered, and it would be $13.24 to have that shipped. Now let's say they don't want to pay for those fees, they can change their delivery to ship to school, and it will now be up to the group and the seller to distribute these sales. But then they'll just be charged the 5% fee we charge for the site and processing. Now without the shipping, the total of this transaction was $72.80. You can see $1.80 of that goes to just card and site processing. But you'll notice the shipping cost is now $0. Once they're ready to pay, they'll enter their payment information, make the transaction, and bang, you've made a sale. Exploring the rest of the campaign site, at the top here you'll see a register button. This is how students or sellers will enter their information and create their own seller page like you saw earlier with the test student there. There's a contact page where anyone visiting the site can ask a question about the products or the fundraiser. And then lastly, there's a login button where admin and students alike can click and log into their personal page and group portal. That should cover just about everything that you'll need to know about your fundraising campaign site. Now let's go back to that welcome email, create a password, and explore the admin group portal. When you log in, you'll be greeted with your homepage or dashboard to the admin portal. You've kind of got a brief overview of how the fundraiser is running. You have a countdown at the very top. You have an option to view the campaign that we just went over. You have the ability to see a leaderboard to rank all of the sellers you have in your fundraiser. Link to that registration button that we talked about at the top of your campaign site. And then finally, you have a URL and QR code for the campaign site itself that you can share, embed in an email or newsletter or social media post. The next tab on the left after your home page is your sales tab. This will be a live catalog of every sale or donation made on your campaign site. You'll be able to search these sales by supporter name, student name, or order ID in case you ever have a question or a customer has a question about a purchase they've made. The next tab on the left is the Students tab. This is where you'll be able to monitor and manage all of the participants in your fundraiser. While we're here, we're going to go over the 3 main ways that you can add people to the campaign site. First way to add a seller is through that self-registration button we saw at the top of the campaign site. The second, you can manually add students or sellers one by one with this blue button here, typing in their first, last name, email, and an optional phone number. And then the last way is through a bulk upload using a CSV file. This is something that we'll provide complimentary to you if you're not familiar or comfortable working with CSV files. They can be a little tricky when it comes to punctuation and format. All we'll need from you is a list or roster of all of your participants, their first and last name, and an email, and then we can bulk upload them to the campaign site and you'll be ready to go. Now, next up is the Teams tab. This isn't a widely used function, but can be useful if you are a sports organization with multiple teams, say varsity, JV, sophomore, or if you are an entire school and need to break things down by class. Then you can organize that in here. But for the most part, it's not something you'll likely use. Continuing on down, we've got your campaign settings. Here you can adjust the goal that's displayed on your main campaign site. Say you've exceeded your goal and you need to make it larger, you can do that right here. You can also add a featured image or a link to a video or a Vimeo link just to kind of further highlight your group. And then over here we have the ACH function. Now this is used at the conclusion of your fundraiser whenever it's time to send you your profits. We can either provide you with a check at delivery or we can do a direct deposit initiated the day of delivery using the bank information you provide. Next, we have the Submissions tab. This will host all of the messages that customers could have sent using that contact feature on your main campaign site. Here you can see the 2 short messages or questions I asked there. This is just an easy way for people to communicate with you if they have specific needs regarding the products or information about the fundraiser. Next up, we have that leaderboard that we saw earlier at the homepage. This gives you an at-a-glance idea of how well everyone's performing during the fundraiser to maybe add a little bit of competitiveness to it. And then next, we have the Employees tab. Say you have some coaches, parents, or other teachers who want to support you. You can add them as an employee and they'll get limited access to this group portal to kind of spread out the workload and make this process run a little more smoothly. And lastly, we have your account or profile settings. Here you can change your contact information, your email, your phone number, your password if you need be. And there you have it. You are now an expert in your online fundraiser. If you have any lingering questions or concerns, just reach out to us and we'll be sure to address whatever you need. Besides that, good luck and happy fundraising.